Good morning, all. My name is Rajeshwari, working as an assistant professor in Tech Multitech, Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Sagundala Engineering College, in the Department of Information Technology. Today, I'm going to discuss about the topic called life cycles of thread and creations of thread in object-oriented programming language, along with Java. Okay, so these are the two important topics in Java. So that we'll discuss about threads. Okay. Before going to explain about thread, we need to know what is process. So we all know process is a program in execution. So if any program in execution, then we call it as a process. That means each and every program in an execution means all the programs we call it as a process. Otherwise it called as a process is a self-contained execution environment. That means it is executed by itself, so we can also call it as a program or application. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about thread. So thread is nothing but if you are dividing a process into n number of small unit means that small part we call it as a thread. Okay, so thread is a lightweight sub process. That means thread is a sub process and it is a lightweight. So the smallest unit of processing we call it as a thread. Okay, so it is separate path of execution. So thread have a separate path of execution. If suppose for example in an operating system there will be a n number of processes are waiting to do its particular task. So each process have a different part. So that part we call it as a thread. So if we are splitting the process into the different unit, this unit we call it as a thread. So all the threads can be executed independently. So it have a separate path of execution. So all the threads, suppose a process one having a 4 thread means all 4 threads can execute it independently. So it doesn't depend upon each other. So it have a separate path of execution. It are independent. So it uses shared memory area. That means threads created by a process. So process split up into the number of units, then we call it as a thread. So process have a memory space. So that space will be shared by threads in the process. If suppose the process having a 4 thread means those 4 threads shared the resources of a process. Okay, that means resources, one of the resources is memory. So the memory shared memory of the process is shared by the threads. Okay, this is all about the thread. So why we are using the thread, what is the benefit for thread is, so thread is a lightweight as I told before. Compared to process, thread is a lightweight, that is it take less time and less resources. So for creation of thread it take less time and less resources, whereas compared to process, thread have a less time to create and have a less resources to create. So that is one of the benefits for we are using threads in programming. Okay, because instead of execution as a process, if you are split those process into a thread and make them to execute means it has very less time for creating and less resources to create and easy to execute simultaneous way. So that only we are creating a threads in Java. Threads is more benefit compared to the process. Second one is threads share their parent process data and code. That means thread is come from the process, right? So if suppose process one having a 4 thread means process one is the parent of the 4 thread. So process one data and code can be shared by the thread. So thread can access the process one data and code. That is the second advantage. Third one is switching between thread is less expensive than process. So if n number of processes waiting to execution means if if there is a switching between process, that means process 1 is working or running or executing now means process 2 must be wait. The switch between a process 1 and process 2 or else a process 3, it take more expensive. So but switching between the threads T1 and T2 is less expensive. So that is one of the benefits of using thread. Final one is intercommunication between the thread is more easy than the process. So process intercommunication is little bit difficult compared to the thread intercommunication. So this is all about thread. So we learn about what is thread, what are the benefits of thread, why we are using threads in Java programming. Okay. So this is a simple example structure for where actually threads take place. Okay. So you all see a large circle called OS. OS means operating system. So operating system have a n number of processes to execute. So here we having a process 1 in green color, process 2 in blue color and process 3 in orange color. Okay, these are three processes available in OS. Each process is divided into a small unit, then we call it as a thread. So it is easy for execution. So process 1 having a T3 thread, T1, T2, T3. These three threads are intercommunication. Okay, so they can able to communicate with each other so that only they can execute it simultaneously. Likewise, process 2 have two threads, T1 and T2, that is also in intercommunication. Process 3 have only one thread. Okay, so this is a simple structure for where is thread actually present. Okay, so outer side OS, within OS will have a number of process, within the process will have a n number of threads. Okay, next one is, this is the topic we are going to discuss actually, life cycles of thread. Life cycles in the sense we can also call it as a thread state. So what are the states where the threads can be availed? So what are they? That what we are going to seen about the life cycles of thread. So the life cycles of thread in Java is controlled by JVM. JVM is nothing but Java Virtual Machine. So by using a JVM only, the Java can able to run. So JVM can able to actually control the life cycles of thread. Okay, there are actually 5 states of threads. First state is new, second runnable, third running, fourth blocked, fifth terminated. Okay, we'll discuss each and further. So this is a simple block diagram for how the thread take place in all those states. Okay, first state new. New means if we are creating a object for a particular thread, that means we are creating a thread. That is the new state. You are creating a thread means that is in the new state. Okay, so creating a thread can be can be do in a different ways. Okay, that we will discuss in further. So if we are creating means it will be place any of these 5 state. Okay, first step is if we are creating an object for a particular thread means that is actually meaning we are in the new state. Okay, so thread will be having a many inbuilt method. Thread class will be having a many inbuilt method. That is, one of the method is start and run, stop, sleep, resume, notify, notify all, suspend, wait. So these are some of the inbuilt method available in thread class. Okay, by using these method only, thread can be placed, that can be available in any one of these states. Okay, first one is new. I already discussed in new is if you are creating an object for thread, then we are in the new state. Second state is runnable. That is, we are trying to run those created thread. Okay, so if we are start using a start method only, we can able to make a particular thread to run. Okay, so if I am giving a start method for particular thread means the thread is actually moving to the runnable state. Runnable state means it is not actually running, it is actually in the going to run, that is they are waiting to run. Okay, so the thread scheduler only make a thread from runnable to running state. Okay, so running state, next state is third state is running. Running state is actually a thread is currently executing. That is, the thread is executing the number of statement present in the run method. RUN method is a method available in all the thread class. If you are creating a thread and start the thread means the thread is actually moving to those method and execute the number of statement in those method. That is running. Terminated means if we are finishing the work of particular thread means we are going to stop those thread. Terminate is, that is dead state. So if I am giving a stop method for a particular thread means the thread is not alive, it is going to dead. That is the meaning. If I'm giving a thread to stop method means it is terminated. Okay, next actually we are discussed four state, and last state is blocked state. Blocked state means it is actually a thread is alive but it is not running. If suppose a particular thread is running, another thread is need to take place in a run method means the running thread, currently running thread should be wait for some more time or some more seconds. So then only we are going to the blocked state, that is currently running state going to the block state for a some time. Okay, so that is called the non-runnable state. So if you are making currently running thread to non-runnable state, after that from non-runnable state to runnable state for execution, then only we are using the non-runnable state. That is, if I am currently running T1, T2 is waiting for execution means I am holding T1 for some more times in non-runnable state by using a method called sleep, suspend, wait. If I am giving a T1 a sleep means it will sleep for some milliseconds. If I am giving in a blocked state, if I giving a T1 and suspend means it will suspend for some time. If I am giving a T1 as wait means it will wait for some time. Okay, so if I am giving these three method means it directly move to the blocked state. So then the T2 is can able to run the program. Okay, run the particular line of execution. So once T2 is completed their position, their execution means now the T1 is waiting in a blocked state can able to make them running by using the method called resume, notify, notify all. If I am giving a T1 in a resume by using a resume method means it will start execution. So it again move to the runnable, wait for some time, thread scheduler make them to runnable to running. Likewise notify, notify all. Notify used if we are wait a particular thread for some time means notify can able to use. Notify means particular thread can able to run into the running state. Notify all means all the threads available in block state can able to run at the running state. Okay, if suppose I am suspend some thread to a particular time means that time I am using a resume. Resume means the suspended thread can able to run. Okay, so these are the life cycles or states of threads. Okay, so uh, this is nothing but the definitions or statements of particular states. I already discussed. New means a thread is in new state if you create an instance of thread class. That is, if I am creating an object for a particular thread class means then the thread is created. Then the thread it is in the new state before the invocation of start method. So if I am not giving a start method means it is just created, it is in the new state. If I am giving the start method means it is moved to the runnable state. That is, the thread is in runnable state after invocation of start method. But the thread scheduler has not selected it to be the running thread. So from runnable to running, thread scheduler only select a particular thread. Before that, the thread must be wait in the runnable state. Running means the thread is in the running state. That is, it execute the line of statement in the void run method. Okay, that is actually thread scheduler selected it. Fourth state is blocked state. Blocked means it is still alive, but it is not eligible to run. Okay, sometimes it is blocked. Okay, fifth state is terminated. That is, it is a dead state. Terminate, it exists from the run method. Okay, by giving a stop method we can able to terminate the particular thread. Okay, fine. Next topic is create thread. So first topic we see about life cycles and states of thread. Second topic is create thread. So now we are going to create a thread. So there are two ways to create a thread. One way by extending thread class, another way by implementing runnable interface. So JVM have a inbuilt thread class and inbuilt runnable interface. By using those inbuilt thread class and in runnable interface only, we are going to create a thread. Okay. So thread class, inbuilt thread class have a, so if sub example class means it have a constructor, methods and variable. Likewise, inbuilt thread class have a constructors and n number of methods to perform a operations of a thread. Okay. So likewise, we can able to create a thread by extending the thread class. All the class in Java extended by the object class implicitly. Okay. So if suppose I'm giving a class A means the class A is extended by an object class implicitly. If you're not giving extends object no, means no, it means the class is extended by the object class. Okay, the thread classes extend object class and implement runnable interface. Okay, implicitly. Runnable interface means JVM have a number of interface inbuiltly. Runnable is one of the interface. By using the runnable interface, we can able to create a thread. Void run method means run is a method. A thread must be execute number of statements in the run method only. Okay, it is used to perform action for a thread. The start method of thread class is used to start a newly created thread. So I already told if you're giving a start method for a particular thread means it move to the runnable state. Okay, the start method perform the following task. If you are giving a thread to start means it perform new thread start. A thread is created newly. And those thread is starts that are going to execute. Second one is thread move from new state to runnable state. We already discussed this. Third one is thread get a chance to execute run method. When they will get a chance means the thread scheduler move a thread from runnable state to running state. Okay, so it have a chance to moving from runnable state to running state. Okay. So these are the example program creating a Java thread by extending a thread class. So in that, first is it has a class, name is multi, extends is a keyword, thread is a inbuilt thread class. Okay. So by using a inbuilt thread class, we are extending a those multi class for creating a thread. Okay. Second one is it have a void run method. So once the thread is created means if you are giving a start method means it actually move on to this public void run method and execute number of lines available in this method. Okay. So here I'm just giving public void run system.out.println thread is running. A simple line. So whenever a thread is created and make some one and to start means it actually move to this void run and execute thread is running. Okay. So that is the void run method. Next step will be having a public static void main. So this is the main function for this Java program. Public static void main string args. So within that only we are going to create an object for a particular classes. So I'm creating an object called t1 for multi, class name multi. So class name object name equal to new class name. So by using the object name, I'm just call the start method because the class is already extend from the thread class. So we just call the start method by creating an object for the particular class. Multi t1 equal to new multi. Then t1 dot start means t1 is act as a thread now. So dot start means I'm going to start the thread. That is the t1 is directly moved to the void run and execute the line available in void run. That is system.out.println thread is running. Now the output is thread is running. This is the one way of creating a thread. Just extend thread class. Within that we'll be having a void run method. In main function we need to create an object for the particular class and then by using those objects we are going to start a method. Okay. So next example is by implementing runnable interface. Okay. Here I'm having a class name called multi3. So class name is multi3, implements is a keyword, runnable is the already available interface in JVM. Okay, here also we should have a void run method because once the thread is created and start, it directly move to the void run and execute the line of execution in the lines in the void run. Okay. So public void run, here also I'm giving system.out.println thread is running. So within the main function, I need to create an object for a class name called multi3. Multi3 m1 equal to multi3. So now m1 dot start means it does not create a thread because we are not extending a thread class. We are implementing a runnable interface. So we need to give those object to the thread. So next step is I'm going to create a object for thread. Thread inbuilt class thread t1 equal to new thread. Within that I'm going to pass the m1 value. Okay, object of multi3. Then now the t1 is act as a thread. T1 dot start means it move to the void run method and execute system.out.println thread is running. That's it. This is the another way for creating a thread. Just implement a runnable interface and then it should have a public void run method and then we need to create an object for a particular class and send those objects to the thread class by creating an object for particular thread class and execute by using those thread class object dot start. Then it actually move to the void run method available in a particular class and execute the number of lines in the void run method. That is the output is thread is running. Hope you all clear about these topics. Thank you all.